Hello, everyone, and welcome into WCBN sports coverage of Michigan softball. Game 2 of the series against the Penn State Nittany Lions following last night's brilliant walk-off win for the Wolverines. Madison Union hitting a home run in the 7th inning to get the win for the Michigan Wolverines by a score of 6-5, and they are back here for Game 2. It is a reportedly sold-out crowd once again, a couple empty seats to see how they fill in along the afternoon. It's a little chilly. Not as windy as it was earlier in the week, but the clouds are rolling in. Rain expected tonight. Shouldn't have much of an impact on this game at all, though. And we're set for some Big Ten softball. I'm joined by Vanessa Litchard. Vanessa, how are you doing?
I'm pretty well. It's a little brisk this morning, but as we see and as you mentioned, it is a almost sold out stadium here compared to the baseball field that's just right in front of us where it's empty stands, but this one's pretty full. There's a lot of people here. Going to be a good game. It's a little brisk, but the crowd still showed up.
I'll go through the lineups now for Michigan. Defensively, it's going to be Katie Alexander at catcher. Alex Stracco will start at pitcher today. Megan Bobian was in the circle yesterday. Alex Subcheck at first base. Faith Canfield second. Natalia Rodriguez shortstop. And Madison Union at third base. In the outfield, Haley Hoganrod in right field. Natalie Peters in center, and Lexi Blair in left field. Lexi Blair batting a ridiculous .431. And for Penn State, it's going to be Tony Polk, Claire Swedberg, Chelsea Breezy, Destiny Weber, Haley Vallejos, Allie Kirkland, Lilia Krauthamel, Danny Fay, and Milena Livingston. That is the Penn State knee lineup. And it'll be Tony Polk batting .335 on the year, the senior, starting things off for the Nittany Lions as Alex Stracco look across. And the first pitch is a swing and a miss.
It was a little high, but, I guess you got to get the hang of it somehow. Surprised you swung at that one.
Nittany Lions are a very powerful team. They like to hit the ball over the fence. That is what they do best.
Though?
And another big swing and a miss. This one on an off-speed pitch from Stracco. So it's going to be Polk now in a 0-2 hole. As Stracco composes herself, gets ready for pitch number 3. Wind up and delivery, and it'll be popped up foul. Tony Polk
continues to battle with this 2-0 hole that she's in. Stracco's only throwing strikes, though. Good way to start the inning and the game.
Yeah, Alex Stracco very aggressive, and Tony Polk, one of the leaders on this Penn State Nittany Lions team with 13 home runs on the season. A lot of power in that bat. Stracco winds up and goes high and outside, ball number 1 of the count.
Yeah, Polk, is not going to go down without a fight, it looks like. I mean, she's swinging at what she needs to. She's battling, getting some foul balls here, and she just got a ball for the first time, so that's a 2-1 count, or 1-2 count.
And Stracco goes off speed again, but goes outside, so a 2-2 count now. This is a senior batter against a freshman pitcher. A lot of experience versus the relative youth at the moment, but Alex Stracco, fine pitcher in her own right. 11-6 on the season, 2.31 ERA. Stracco winds up and another foul tip.
You just never see where where those balls end up going when they are hit foul. They kind of just hopefully don't hit someone who's unexpectedly outside of the stadium. I really never know where they go.
Got to have your head on a swivel.
Truly. At here and baseball.
And Stracco pitches, and this one is hit well into right field. Take one hop into the glove of Haley Hoganrod. So Tony Polk reaches base after starting the count 0-2.
Great contact on that one. It was hit right to right field, and it was a good hit. It was strong and sturdy, and I don't even think she swung all the way through, but she got it, and now she's on first base. Good contact, and good for her with her senior experience, being able to battle, like coming back from that 2 strikes count.
So Tony Polk leads things off for the Nittany Lions on first base. Now it's going to be a freshman, Claire Swedberg, batting .283 on the season. A little bit of a drop-off in the power, only 1 home run on the season for her. And she'll take the first pitch of the at-bat outside for ball number 1.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Stracco doing so well as a freshman. It's always exciting to, start pitching, especially as a freshman, as you said, with her youth.
Now she winds up and attempted slap hit And it looked like she went for it, but they're going to look at the second base umpire this time, and he'll wave it off. So now a 2-0 count for Swedberg, the freshman. Strack will look to attack the 2-0 count, and she'll go outside once again.
You hear the someone very, very loudly saying, "Come on!" It's because he's calling. The second base umpire is calling these not swings. I must agree with him, though. She's not completely swinging or attempting to swing. She's kind of just doing that lineup.
And Stracco finally goes inside for a strike. So 3-1 count now against the slap hitter.
Looking like a good pitch, but of course you're never supposed to swing on when you have a 3-ball count. But
Stracco winds up and gets strike 2. So the count is now full. As you mentioned, Vanessa.
Never supposed to swing on the
hitters rarely go for the 3-0 swing unless it's pitch you can't resist.
Yeah. And even then, you can get yelled at by your coach.
Stracco winds up, and ball is put in play. The play is made at second base as Faith Canfield flips it to Natalia Rodriguez. So Tony Polk is out. They take the leading runner, and so Swedberg will reach first base on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, it's always that could have potentially been a double play, but as we know, softball is so much closer than baseball, so way harder and way less potential for that to happen. But it was a good play to get that second base runner out.
And Stracco's first pitch of the next at-bat is a strike. This is to Chelsea Beasy, a freshman who has 13 home runs of her own on the season, another very powerful Nittany Lions hitter. So right here at the top of the order for the Nittany Lions, 2 13 home run hitters. And we'll see how Stracco attacks her as second pitch goes for a high ball one. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out.
Yeah, it's all, I mean, the Nittany Lions are interesting with their 2 freshmen in their second and third up to bat. Obviously, these freshman girls must be pretty impressive to be starting lineup and starting, in general. As you mentioned, she said Bissy has 13 home runs. That's pretty darn impressive.
Yeah, both Tony Polk and Chelsea Beasy have 13 home runs each. And like we said, Penn State has had 13 multi-home run games. Those 2 have combined for 8 of them. And when Penn State scores 3 runs or more this season, they are 21-6 on the season. 21-7 now, actually, after last night.
Not a bad record.
Stracco winding up, and big foul rip will hit the roof of the press box where we are stationed for this one, not outside like Alex and I were on Wednesday against Michigan State.
You guys were outside?
Talk about that game a little bit later, but now Beasy sits in a 1-2 count, and Stracco goes low for ball 2, 2-2 count.
See, I always liked those low pitches when I was batting, when I played softball. It was always a good zone for me, but I can see as Beasy looks like a little shorter than me. Probably wouldn't go for that.
Yeah, Beasy's got a lot of power. She is just waiting for that one down the middle. And Stracco will wind up and go high for a full count now, second straight full count.
Yeah, these girls for Penn State are not giving up easily. They're not letting her strike them out right away. They are battling, getting foul balls, and getting on base. So let's see what she can do now with this full count.
And Stracco winds up and the swing and miss on the changeup pitch. Beasy heads back to the dugout. So Stracco gets strikeout number 1 of the afternoon against one of the Nittany Lions' best hitters.
Yeah, good start for Stracco, getting that strikeout in the third batter up. And it was a good battle for both of them. So it's always impressive to see, someone end up successful. And in this case, it was Stracco.
Next up is going to be Destiny Weber, the junior, who also bats .338. But at the moment, there is a stolen base as Claire Swedberg.
It's a great throw.
Takes second, as you mentioned, a good throw. Nearly got her on the slide, but Swedberg just had a good enough jump on it. So,
yeah, great throw by Alexander there. She just looked like that runner's a little fast. kind of hard to get the fast ones out.
So now 1-0 count for Destiny Weber. And runner at second as Stracco winds up and goes high, but Swedberg making Stracco think about it on the base pass as well, threatening to steal third now as well.
Yeah, Swedberg really seems like an intense base runner, going off a little bit, kind of tempting Alexander and Stracco both.
And Stracco's pitch goes inside for strike number 1 of the at-bat to Weber. Weber, as I was mentioning, a .338 batter. She has 3 home runs on the season for Penn State. And Claire Swedberg is really trying to time up these pitches in a runner's stance, looking to be aggressive on the base paths. And Stracco's pitch will go just high of the strike zone. So a 3-1 count now for Destiny Weber, junior from Ohio.
Those changeups always are very hard to hit, I feel like. Like, imagine it coming quickly before, and then all of a sudden it's just kind of like a floater. Catches everyone by surprise. Another foul ball.
Yeah, this time Weber is able to make contact, but a little bit early. And that one will head well behind the home plate stands as full count for the 3rd consecutive batter now. Alex Stracco will think about what she wants to do, deliver, and another foul tip down the third base line.
A late contact there, as we saw with the ball dwindling on that third baseline. Always means that the contact was either late or early. Looked like it was a little bit late there, but again, this full count, I mean, she's still battling. Let's see what Weber can do now. Is it going to be 3 outs? Is she going to get on base?
Runner at second for the Nittany Lions. Stracco winding up, and big foul again as it'll go over the netting.
I am just always so scared someone's going to get hit.
Fans generally seem to have each other's backs in the stands for this one. Keeping
yeah, great community here
keeping their heads
up. At the softball field here. I'm worried for people's cars too, though, because sometimes who knows where those foul balls go.
So Weber will step back into the batter's box. Stracco winding up, delivering, and Weber will get a piece of this one, but an easy infield fly out to Alex Subject, and the top of the inning will come to an end. Michigan's bats will be up next, and for Penn State, Hannah Shields will be out to pitch after the break in the action.
Yeah, quick inning for the Michigan girls. It was good plays, nothing too challenging. The first hit to the right field was definitely the best hit that had happened in the first inning. But Staroko did good. She was staying in. I mean, it was a full count, as you said, I think on almost every batter, which means Stroko's throwing good hits, and the batters are ready to battle as well, as we saw with all those foul balls that happened in only the first inning.
Yeah, Penn State brings a lot of power to the table in their lineup. They have quite a few home runs on the season, and that's really how they're looking to attack. If we go back to last night's game against the Nittany Lions, there were 3 home runs hit by the Nittany Lions, scored 5 runs total. There's a 5-5 tie heading into the bottom of the 7th inning after Penn State tied it in the top of the 7th with a 2-run homer. Madison Uden hitting a solo homer in the bottom of the 7th inning for a walk-off. Michigan wins 6-5. Megan Bobian got the win to move to 23-4 despite giving up 5 runs on 7 hits. The Wolverines look to keep pace in this competitive Big Ten Conference as Hannah Shields will now take the mound. 4.26 ERA for the junior from Penn State. Faith Canfield, Natalie Peters, Lexi Blair, Alex Subcheck, Madison Uden, Mackenzie Nemitz, Haley Hoganrod, Katie Alexander, and Natalia Rodriguez is your Wolverine lineup today as Hannah Shields goes low into the dirt for ball number 1 to Faith Canfield.
See, this lineup here for this Michigan team is so intimidating because, as you just named 9 girls, I can't think of one of them as a weak point or as not a good batter. This is a great lineup here, especially with your starting 3 and ending in Blair, who has done an amazing job this year as freshmen, She's actually Big Ten Freshman of the Week for third time in 6 weeks, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's almost video game numbers with that 431 batting average. We'll talk about Lexi plenty on this broadcast, I'm sure, as Faith takes strike one. Shields winds up, and Canfield gets a great rip on it, and that is gone.
That was amazing. That wasn't even close. Excuse my awe, as that was, I think, the best home run I have seen in watching all my softball games this year. The ball wasn't even close, and it was high up in the air, way out of the park. What do you think about that one? That was great contact, great swing, easy money for Canfield.
Yeah, just 3 pitches into this game for Hannah Shields. She gives up a moonshot home run. Faith Canfield, one of the most feared hitters in the Big Ten Conference. That'll be home run number 8 on the year for her. And top of the Michigan lineup, especially, is just so scary. And it's a great example why Faith Canfield setting the tone. Michigan leads this one now 1-0 on the first hit of the game for them. Hannah Shields goes low into the dirt now as Natalie Peters is up to bat, senior from San Diego, California. Michigan's bats have just been at a different level in recent time. And Peters puts this one in play right past the shortstop. She'll take first base as she reaches.
Another great contact.
Great contact for the slap hitter as Hannah Shields now gives up 2 hits to the first 2 Michigan batters. But, I mean, you take a look at Michigan's last games here and
as I mentioned, this is a intimidating lineup. I mean, Shields isn't going to have an easy time striking anyone out today, especially the top 3, Canfield, Peters, Blair, who have been nothing but successful this year so far. And now we have Lexi Blair up to bat. This is exciting, as we've talked about her having such a good year, and as she's only a freshman. If I was Hannah Shields, I would be a bit nervous right now.
And Shields winds up and goes low for ball 1 to Lexi Blair. Yeah, you got to wonder what's going through her mind so early into the game. Hannah Shields does not walk a lot of girls, so that means that she's putting the ball in the strike zone.
Which is good or bad, but right now it's not looking like it's in her favor.
Shields will go outside for ball 2, so 2-0 count for Lexi Blair. You look at Michigan's last 5 games, and they have run scores of 9, 16, 16, and 6. So quite impressive run totals in those games. Already 1 on the board here, and Lexi Blair gets contact with this pitch, and it's going to go just foul of that left field line. Great contact made out to left field, but just unable to stay in the field of play.
Literally looked like it was only fouled by an inch or 2. Was pretty close. I have bad eyes, so I would have, if I was umping, I think I would have called it fair play, but looked like it was just maybe a little bit off of that white line. But great contact by Lexi Blair, as we've seen with all 3 girls who have bat so far. Good contact. Hannah Shields is really giving it to them with those good strikes, but it's not looking like it's going to fall in the Lions' favor.
And Shields goes low and away. Ball 3, 3-1 count now for Lexi Blair. Yes, so close on that foul ball, but it was foul nonetheless. Now let's see how the 431 impact freshman attacks this next pitch. Shields winds up and goes low, and that's going to be a walk. Very rare for her. Hannah Shields leads the nation actually in walks allowed per 7 innings. Not very common for her. Only her 7th walk of the season. But giving up good contact early on will do that to pitchers.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd rather walk someone, and if I was in Hannah Shields' place, than give up a good hit like Canfield got early on in this inning. But I mean, Michigan's got 2 girls on bases, Peters on second, Blair on first. Both of them are fast runners. There's potential for stolen bases to happen, or potential to advance the runners here with Saboyak up. So wondering what Carol Hutchinson will do.
Yeah, and another meeting on the mound now for Penn State. They've had second one already. Umpire comes in to try and get play moving along.
Yeah, never really know what's stated at those at those meetings because there's no true announcer here at the softball games to say, "Oh, timeout," or "Oh, this is what they're talking about." So we can only wonder what is being said on the mound right now. It's probably trying to cheer up Shields or maybe just getting her to continue to play well.
But Alex Subcheck gets another rocket into center field. This one will hit the wall, and a run will score on the RBI single. Penn State able to hold Subcheck at first base. So Lexi Blair gets the third. Natalie Peters comes home. And now Michigan mans each of the corners. I mean, just right out of the visit at the circle. And
First pitch.
Alex Subcheck just gets a rocket out to center field.
Yeah, as I've stated, the girls, even Blair with that foul ball, the girls are getting great contact off of Shields. She's seems to be a low pitcher, so to say. Her pitches seem to be low, which can be a perfect sweet spot for a lot of the girls on this team with their height being from 5'9" to 5'4", which again is just a generally good strike zone. Looks like Penn State is changing it up a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to see a new pitcher now. It's going to be freshman from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Isn't that where the groundhog lives?
I think so. Kylie Lingenfelter is going to take the mound now.
That was a quick game for Hannah Shields. Feel a little bit bad because she didn't truly do anything too terrible. But again, this Michigan lineup is just nothing but intimidating. And as I stated, when she's giving away those sweet spot strikes, she can't really be asking for anything good on her part.
Yeah, just a rough outing for Hannah Shields, but Michigan does what they've been doing. And the last several games I've come to broadcast at the softball diamond, and that's get on the board early. You go back to the Michigan State game on Wednesday night, and I mean, Michigan was just all over the Spartans early in that one. Eventual score of that was 16-1 in 5 innings.
Jeez.
Just
Michigan State's baseball and softball team really lacks anything good.
But in that game, Michigan scored 4 runs in the first, 3 runs in the second, and 9 runs in the fourth of what was just a dominant outing. And then last night, Michigan able to score, not able to score actually until the third inning. So Penn State did a good job limiting the early damage. But Michigan, when they have sometimes these close games or they're able to walk it off, they really seem to carry that momentum well into their next game. Go back to even the Illinois series. And now
even the Indiana series, which was so long ago, as you said, they carry this momentum continuously.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right there. And right here, coming right from last night, Madison Uden, big swing and a miss on the first pitch she saw.
I think it's the first strike or swing and a miss strike that's happened so far for the Wolverines at bat. Good for Lingenfelter. Is that
yeah, Lingenfelter.
Yep.
The pitcher now for the Nittany Lions, and she goes low for this one. 1 ball, 1 strike now to Madison Uden, the walk-off hero from last night. Madison Uden's been very, very good in Big Ten play, as has much of the Michigan lineup. And she has certainly continued that here into the final home series. Uden threatens bunt, holds off on it. Go for ball number 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now to the junior from Glendale, Arizona, as Michigan has Lexi Blair on third base, Alex Subcheck on first base, and has already forced Penn State into a pitching change.
Yeah, again, nothing but impressive on this Michigan team. This is a good softball team. Carol Hutchins always has a good foundation here with Michigan softball here at this stadium, but this team has been nothing but impressive this year. I know, Lucas, you've called more games than I have, but I've been working some for Big Ten, and again, I'm just very happy and very pleased with how the season's been going for these girls.
The team certainly found another gear here in Big Ten play, and another big swing and miss for Madison Uden now.
Again, those changeups are hard.
As you mentioned, a good changeup pitch from Lingenfelter looking to get Penn State's first out of the ball game. Already in a 2-0 hole. Madison will step back, and a couple practice swings in. She'll step back into the batter's box now. Get ready to go as she rips this one foul into the netting behind home plate.
A little bit confused why Spoyak isn't or Subjack is not stealing to second base. Lucas, do you have any comment on that? If I was her, I would steal to second base. If they throw to second base, then Blair can steal home.
Lingenfelter gets the strikeout on Madison Newton. Big strikeout. As you mentioned, yes.
Right when I said it, it was done.
Alex Subcheck stealing to second base. So now Michigan has 2 runners in scoring position.
Good for Lingenfelter to come on in here and get a strikeout in her first at bat, first batter that she's going against.
Now Mackenzie Nemitz, a lot of power behind that bat. Takes ball 1 outside. I think that was only Alex Subcheck's 4th stolen base of the year. So 4 for 4 for her now, stealing bases. Not something that she necessarily looks to do. And Nemitz will take ball number 2. Senior from St. Clair Shores, Michigan. It's been a very pleasant surprise for the Michigan lineup all season long. And Nemitz gets underneath this one, but it'll pop foul. And a play is made, actually, in left field. And the attempted throw home forces Coach Carol Hutchins to hit the deck. She'll get a standing ovation from some of the fans here. But
I would have done the same thing if I was in her place. That ball was pretty close to hitting her or Lexi Blair. No one's fault on that one, just an awkward positioning of how it happened.
Lexi thought about going at first, but Coach Hutchins with the cat-like reflexes to hit the dirt, and she's one of the best ones. And now it's Haley Hoganrod up to bat, and she will pop up foul over the netting along the first baseline. Kylie Lingenfelter, 9-4 on the season. Over 75 innings pitched. She comes in with a 2.78 ERA. So better stats all around than Hannah Shields for the most part.
Hannah Shields didn't really even get a chance. Kind of confused why she started off, why Penn State felt like it was right to start her off and then, take her out right away. But
well, Lingenfelter has looked a little bit more capable as an early impression. So now Haley Hoganrod sits in a 1-1 count. 2 outs, 2 runners on for Michigan, and another big pop-up that'll go foul over the netting. So that one landed just inside the netting, actually, and might have came back and hit the Penn State catcher in the mask. Coach Hutchins trying to give Haley Hoganrod a couple tips. And Lingenfelter will get ready to go.
yeah, Carol Hutchins is nothing but impressive. She has been here such a long time, really built up, again, this foundation of Michigan softball here, and, winning that one NCAA title, which is, again, nothing but impressive. Because Michigan, it's cold here. The softball, great hit.
As Haley Hoganrod will hit just into the right field grass. And a run will score. Alex Subcheck to third. An almost wild throw threatens Alex Subcheck going home, but she will hold at third. Haley Hoganrod will advance to second, what turns into an RBI double.
Yeah, great hit. Again, good contact by Hoganrod. Now she's got that double because of the air thrown to home. Only 1 run was scored, but again, Michigan softball is impressive not only because of how great they are and how great Carol Hutchins has built up this foundation, but because Michigan is cold. As we are here, people wearing winter hats, a lot of the softball teams that dominate college softball are all in the warmer states because, they don't have to worry about it snowing or hailing at their games.
And this pitch from Lingenfelter is going to skid before home plate into the dirt. That last play will go down as a single to center field for Haley Hoganrod, RBI single, and she advanced to second on a throwing error. Lexi Blair scored, so the score now stands 3-0 in favor of the Michigan Wolverines as Katie Alexander, who has been very locked in as of late, stands at home. And she'll take ball number. Oh, a strike actually. A little bit of a late call by the umpire, but 1-1 count now.
Definitely a little bit of a late call. I was wondering why he didn't call it a strike right away, but then surprisingly, he called strike after almost a moment's delay with the 1-1 count, though.
So Alexander's average up to 264 on the season. And she takes a big hack at this one, foul into the netting.
Yeah, Alexander is actually one of the people who is had a home run against Illinois to retain a share of the team's lead with 9 long balls apiece. Pretty impressive with her and Saboyak both being both being big home run hitters.
Yeah, Alexander's got a lot of power in her bat as well. Takes the ball outside. So Penn State's been out on defense for a while now.
I mean, they've gone through 2 pitchers. And the whole lineup almost. But they're still battling. There's 2 outs, and
Alexander makes contact, but this will go foul along the third base line. So the at-bat will continue. 2-2 count, 2 outs, and Michigan still mans second and third base. Haley Hoganrod at second base, and Alex Subject at third base, threatening to score more runs on what's already been a productive first inning, 3-0 in favor of the Michigan Wolverines.
Yeah, starting off that inning with the home run by Canfield was such a good step for the Wolverines here against Penn State. Compared to last night's game with the walk-off and towards the, you said it was the 7th inning?
Yep, the 7th inning.
And here we are with Michigan holding that 3-0 lead, and it's only the end of the first inning. I mean, there's 2 outs with still potential for Subject to score, anyone to score, really.
Lingenfelter will look across at Alexander, wind up, and Alexander will have one tail out. Again, foul along third base. This one will actually reach the batting cages further down.
Yeah, a little late on the contact there. If it was just a little bit earlier, potential for a home run or a deep fly ball to center field or left field, but it was good contact nonetheless. Just need to get in the right direction.
The windup, and Alexander rips this one, but a very nice snag, flashing the leather for number 41, Destiny Weber for Penn State. Very nice grab on that
snag.
One.
Quick and easy snag. Those are always some of the greatest plays to have in softball. It makes you feel the most successful. As someone who played softball for 9 years, I remember being a first baseman and third baseman sometimes, getting those quick little grabs and snags kind of quicker than anyone realizes is easy money when you are capable.
That was a very nice catch on the line drive, and it will end the first inning, a score of 3-0. So Michigan sets the tone early on. Alex Straka will head back out for inning number 2, but you got to like the way that Michigan came out and set the tone in this one.
Yeah, they definitely set the tone. I mean, Penn State had to change pitchers almost instantly, and it was nothing, I feel like, against Shields because she wasn't throwing so many balls that it was, incapable or on her part. It's just that this Michigan lineup she was throwing at their sweet spot. Started off with the home run and then just kind of fell apart from there. And then we got Lingenfelter coming in, and I mean, she did well, but again, this Michigan lineup is tough, and these Michigan girls are here to compete. Compared to last night's game, they are leading 3-0 right now. Looking good. I'd be feeling good if I was a Michigan Wolverine right now. But again, it is only the top of the second inning, so there is still a bunch of time left in this ball game for the Nittany Lions to come back.
Michigan has not lost at home this season. They are keeping pace in a very competitive Big Ten Conference this season. Northwestern at 18-0 in the Big Ten Conference, so they still control things from their point. They're at Michigan State, or against Michigan State, rather, this weekend. Stracco faces Haley Vallejos. Be strike 1 on the first pitch she sees, but Northwestern still has to go to Minnesota to finish the season. That'll be a tough series for the Wildcats.
Yes, it will be. And as you mentioned, the Wolverines are 11-0 at home. That's very impressive because that means you haven't lost one game at home. Is this field giving them that good energy, or is it this team that doesn't even need the energy really at home? They just have it and they're capable of having it, I guess, is the question I'm wondering. But honestly, I think it might be a little bit of both.
Haley Vallejos takes strike 2. Quick meeting in the circle, but ever since Michigan has come home, the lineup has been almost unstoppable, and a very tough non-conference schedule prepared them very well for what they would encounter at home. And in the rest of the Big Ten, only one loss in conference play so far, as Alex Storako just misses inside for ball 1 to Haley Vallejos.
As you mentioned, they had one loss in the Big Ten. Is that against? Was that away at where Northwestern?
Loss at Ohio State.
Ohio State. All right.
And Storako winding up, and Vallejos makes contact. This one will go foul. The count will remain 1-2. Vallejos, the sophomore from Arizona, bats .220 on the year. So not one of Penn State's more powerful hitters by any means, but right there in the middle of the lineup. And now Storako winds up, and
change up, yeah,
they
definitely.
call the strikeout.
Definitely, the changeup, as always, comes as a surprise. I think it came a surprise to Vallejos, as well as it did to the umpire, because there was kind of a delayed reaction as well. But it was a good pitch.
Thought it might have been a little low, but Storako gets the strikeout in her favor nonetheless. So that's 2 on the day for her. And now she'll throw strike 1 to Allie Kurland, freshman from Virginia. Storako will step back in now. Wind up. And Kurland will make good contact with this one. Subject able to grab it real quick and race back to first base, beating Kurland to the bag. Out in number 2 now.
Great play by Subject. Had to act fast with that. Great fielding, great position. There was weird bounces taking place, but she caught it and then ran, out-hustled Kurland to first base and got that out for 2 outs right away in this top of the second inning.
Storako now looks across at Lilia Krauthamel. Krauthamel is the lowest batter in the Penn State lineup at 188.
I think she's the lowest batter out of all of Michigan and Penn State right now is the lineup, but doesn't mean you should overlook her. She's a freshman, but she's still in the lineup nonetheless, so she must have beat out some people.
Up from Allentown, Pennsylvania, and she currently sits with a 2-ball, no strike count. And Storako gets her looking silly with a swing and a miss for strike number 1. 2 balls, 1 strike now.
Interesting to swing on that one. It was not looking like a good pitch. Pretty low. Almost had her off balance there. Again, as you mentioned, and you said it best, looking silly.
Storako will get strike 2 over the plate now. Krauthamel backing off a little bit after the previous swing. So 2-2 count now for the freshman. And Storako has very nice array of spin on her pitches, can really do a lot of damage with that. And she'll go speed on this one just inside, though, full count now to Lilia Krauthamel.
Yeah, full count. I mean, this is almost the toughest batter we've seen yet, so to say, as the 2 outs earlier were both pretty easy for the Wolverines to get. Oh,
this is going to be a foul hit off of home plate, bounce right back up and hit Krauthamel. So
never really know how to play those. Glad that they called them foul right away. I know when I played high school softball, definitely some issues there with if that's a foul ball or not, or if it's fair game. All depends on the umpires, I believe, but I think here in college softball they have set regulations on it.
Straka winds up and a foul tip back behind home plate. Krauthamel keeping this at-bat alive.
Yeah, she's battling nonetheless. I mean, that first pitch kind of got her by surprise, but she's here tipping off some foul balls, continuing to battle against Storako. I feel like Storako, though, is going to throw something special her way to get that strikeout, possibly a changeup. We'll have to wait and see.
And she does it just like you said. Strikeout right down the middle. Alex Storako knew it when she threw it. Strikeout number 3 on the day for the freshman pitcher.
Yeah, these Michigan Wolverines are looking good right now, holding their 3-0 lead and holding the three batters for Penn State instantly out. I mean, it wasn't much of a challenge in that the first inning or the second inning now. And now Penn State has to come back and battle with Ligenfelter hopefully being able to do a little bit better than she had done coming into the first inning. Have to wait and see what's going to happen, but
Yeah, they're going to need Lingenfelter to really limit the damage that Michigan was able to get done in the first inning. A lot of that coming off of the starter, Hannah Shields, but they're going to need to keep this game close. Penn State does possess power, but they cannot let this game get away early on.
exactly as you said it, getting away from or getting the score up early on is hard to come back to, especially when you're coming down to the last innings. Luckily, there's a bunch of time left in this game for the Nittany Lions to come back, but unluckily for them, they are Ligenfelter is about to battle the top of the lineup after Rodriguez. Canfield's coming off of that home run in the first inning, about to be back up in the batters again, and then Peters and Blair are again both great batters, as almost everyone on this Michigan batting lineup is. So if I was Ligenfelter, I would be a little bit nervous right now for these potential batters, but can't get in her head too much because she's got to be successful if these Nittany Lions want to put up a challenge.
So Natalia Rodriguez will now be up to bat. She's batting .314 on the season. Very nice number 9 hitter, employing that slap technique, and she'll take high ball 1 on the opening pitch of the at-bat. As we can see here at Alumni Field, the Nittany Lion third and first baseman and really their entire infield pulled in quite a bit, expecting some sort of bunt. Rodriguez very speedy on the base paths, just needs to get it in play to have a chance.
Yeah, she's lining up for that slap hit. Strike, though, by Ligenfelter. Great pitch. But, Rodriguez can bat both-handed, so she's kind of dangerous on both sides. Right now, though, in the left side of the batter's box, looks like she's going to try for that slap bunt or slap hit.
Ligenfelter goes low now, 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, and especially as you mentioned, Rodriguez is quick, and that is most crucial in being a slap hitter or a slap bunter, is to be quick, getting down to first base, and being quick, being able to steal some bases as well.
So everyone pulled in, and strike number 2 now to Rodriguez. So Lingenfelter's been able to pitch around the slap so far. 2-2 count, the opening batter of the bottom of the second inning. Lingenfelter winds up and goes high and outside, so full count now. Rodriguez, as we mentioned, batting .314. Only 1 home run and only 1 double, but certainly can reach base with that speed, not necessarily all the power. As she is able to slap this one, but it goes foul. The count will remain full.
Rodriguez is continuing to battle here as the first batter up in this bottom of the second inning. Excuse me. Full count, as you mentioned, but with her speed, all she needs to do is get some good contact and get it in play, and she should be able to make it.
And this one does go in play. It's off the glove of Weber, and Rodriguez is able to take second off of the inability to field it cleanly right down the line. Weber dove at it and went right off the glove, very close to going foul, but
it's almost like whenever I say something, it happens after I say it.
I think the umpires are going to come and talk to the coaches and to each other real quick.
Yeah, she just had that good contact on it. I don't know what they're talking about, really. Do you think they are addressing if it was a foul ball or not, or if it was in play?
I think it was. That's probably what they're talking about, yes.
Yeah, there's a pole obstructing my view right now from the third base, so I didn't get to fully see what happened besides it bouncing off of her glove and kind of being an error on her part. But again, as I stated, with Rodriguez, all she needs to do is get good contact, and she is already at second base. Yes, there was a little bit of a fluke there and an error on Weber's part, but she was fast. I mean, I was watching her, and I was like, holy cow. She could go to third if she wanted.
I think they might They might reverse this call. They're going to call it a foul ball after a little bit of a conference. So Rodriguez will head back to the batter's box after they reverse the call. So some boos rain down.
Kind of
So I think
interesting to reverse the call like that after it already had been a minute almost.
I think the Penn State dugout was able to get a little bit of influence on that one, but the full count will remain. No runners on base for Michigan, and Kylie Lingenfelter will deliver another pitch as Rodriguez goes foul. Once again, she is really peppering him down that third base line, but keeping this at-bat going. As Kylie Lingenfelter checks the armband, winds up, delivers, and foul once again. This one will take a hop and go backwards, actually. As this duel continues between freshman and sophomore, Lingenfelter winding up and fouled once again back over the netting along third base line. Rodriguez really battling this one out. And this one is going to go just low the strike zone. So Rodriguez.
Jeez, I was thinking that was a strike.
Rodriguez able to withstand the long at bat and get on base out of it via the walk. And that will reset the Michigan lineup as Faith Canfield will head out. Lingenfelter did not see Canfield in the first inning as Hannah Shields surrendered an opening home run to Canfield. It's one of the runs that was surrendered before Lingenfelter entered the game. Canfield stands tall, takes a high ball one on the opening pitch of her second at-bat.
Impressive for Rodriguez to battle so hard. I felt like she was up in the batter's box for quite a long time, especially, getting on base, getting that double, and then it being called back. But now here she is on first base looking to steal.
Yeah, definitely a threat to steal bases with that speed that she possesses. Canfield takes another high ball. Wouldn't expect anything too hittable for her, as feared a threat as she is.
Yeah, especially after coming after this home run in the first inning.
Lingenfelter winds up and goes high once again. 3 consecutive balls, all about Canfield's head level. As the Nittany Lion catcher, Haley Vallejos, is going to head in to have a little one-on-one with the Penn State pitcher.
Don't know if she's talking about the 3 balls that were just thrown or if she's talking about Rodriguez potentially stealing second, because Vallejos has been looking like she is ready to throw down, with Rodriguez seeming to tempt her almost. So it might be able to be talked about with that transition happening, or it might be a little pep talk for Lingenfelter to throw some strikes.
Lingenfelter winds up and go high and inside. So Canfield, 4 consecutive balls will get her on base. So 2 walks to start the bottom of the second inning for Lingenfelter, and Michigan now mans first and second base with no outs. Now Natalie Peters up to bat. She reached base and scored in the first inning. And she gets a bunt down. Not the best placement, though, as it takes 1 bounce and into the glove of the Penn State first baseman, Chelsea Beasy, is able to make a throw to first base to get the out. But it does accomplish the goal of advancing Michigan runners, Peters, Rodriguez, and Canfield, rather.
Exactly. But as you stated, it wasn't the best placement, but she did her job of advancing those runners potentially to score, especially now with Lexi Blair stepping up to bat. She walked last time. I think she's looking to get a hit this time.
Lexi Blair.
If given the chance, though. Looks like Ligenfelter is kind of throwing a bunch of balls. Was that a strike, that last one?
That was a strike on the outside of the plate. So strike one to Lexi Blair. Lexi Blair, the highest batting average in this Michigan lineup at .431. Just ridiculous numbers.
That is ridiculous in general.
She'll take a ball this time. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out for the freshman with runners on second and third base. Lexi Blair just can do it all. And at the plate against another freshman in Kylie Lingenfelter. Lingenfelter goes high and away for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now. Lexi Blair is very patient. Only 4 strikeouts on the season, which is also the best in the Michigan lineup right now. And very good contact on this one. A line drive to right field, though. And Rodriguez is going to make the run after the catch, slide home, and it will be an RBI sac fly for Lexi Blair. Able to score a run off of it.
Yeah, great to get a run after that, bringing the Wolverines up 4-0 over the Lions. Great contact by Lexi Blair. It's unfortunate just the placement. It was almost directly to the right fielder. Didn't really have to move, didn't really have to do anything besides stick her glove up and catch the ball. But again, as you say, she got the RBI, and Rodriguez so fast, so quick. Wasn't really a challenge for her to score and tag up. It was a good play.
Alex Subcheck hits this one hard to shortstop.
Great fielding. Great fielding by Livingston.
Able to turn the play to first base, and that will end the second inning. Michigan able to add on another run, so 4-0 now for the Wolverines. Canfield stranded at second base, but more run production for the Wolverines to increase their lead as we head into the top of the third inning.
Nothing but impressed by this Michigan team as they were able to score in both of the innings, and it's only the top of the third. Penn State's already gone through two pitchers, I want to say. Of course, Ligenfelter is still up and battling against these Wolverines, and of course their batting lineup is very intimidating, but Michigan is overall all around good on the field and at bat, not really giving the Nittany Lions any potential to score. And, we have Bobian yesterday, who was a good pitcher, but now we have Storako coming and being just as successful.
Yeah, Michigan might have one of the best pitching groups, at least in the Big Ten for sure, with Bobian and Storako, and then Sarah Schaefer, a capable third arm if she's ever needed. But Bobian and Storako really able to do most of the work, and unlike last year where it was really just the pitching, this year Michigan can really rely on those bats to come through. So due up for the Nittany Lions in the top of the third inning, it's going to be Danny Fay, Milena Livingston, and then they'll reset the lineup with Tony Polk. I mean, really, for Penn State, Livingston bats .348 and from the 9 spot, and then it's those top 4 batters as well for Penn State that once you can get past them, you have a little bit of room to work with. And so Storako's first pitch into Fay goes for a strike right down the middle. Danny Fay, sophomore from Bangor, Pennsylvania.
Looking like a good pitch. Of course, Fay did just step right in, though, so I wouldn't have swung on that first pitch, too, but Storako was really giving it to her with his speed.
And a little bit of a changeup.
As I have continuously stated, that changeup is always dangerous, no matter who's throwing it, because it could go from a potential fastball last pitch to a slow changeup, and sometimes you just aren't expecting that as a batter.
Storako winding up, and Fay makes contact. Rodriguez going to able to easily field that for out number 1. So Fay flies out to deep infield. Next up for the Nittany Lions will be Milena Livingston. Like I said, batting .348. Played and started 50 games this season, all 50 games prior to now 51. And a big swing on her first hack at it will go foul over the stands. Strike 1 for the freshman from Detroit, Michigan, actually. So Straka will wind up and deliver pitch number 2 in. Go just inside now, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now. Livingston comes into this game with 5 home runs, third on the team. And she makes good contact with this one. It'll go foul, very similar to the Lexi Blair.
Exactly what I was just about to say.
Foul ball early on.
Again, my eyes are terrible, so I have no true comment on if it's foul or not foul. But both Blair and her hit that she just had were so close to the line, almost looked in. But again, as I stated, my eyes are not trustworthy, and I probably could never be an umpire. But, I guess that's not really in my career aspirations anyway at the moment. But maybe one day.
Livingston from the shortstop position definitely has some power. And Straka will get her from the bottom of the strike zone for the strikeout. Very late call again from the official, at least for signal. But nonetheless, strikeout number 4 for the freshman pitcher. As Penn State now will reset the lineup. Tony Polk back out. Tony Polk reached base in her first at-bat, and she'll be caught swinging and missing on the opening pitch of her second time up.
Yeah, top of the lineup for the Lions now. Michigan, though, has 2 outs. Looks like Pollock might just add to this third out because looks almost like, again, a foul ball. And Straka's really bringing the heat here, Lucas. I mean.
Yeah, Alex Straka looks very comfortable right now in the circle. I mean, already a talented player coming in, but she has only improved and grown more comfortable over the season, and certainly showing it here late in Big Ten play, and just in her bag of tricks, making Tony Polk swing and miss.
I really feel like I am predicting the future with my comments here today. I not to call myself a Doctor Strange, but I think I've had some pretty on point predictions here. But again, this Michigan team is nothing but successful. Hard not to predict in their favor because they have been coming out strong. I mean, it's 4-0 here compared to yesterday's tight game. Again, there's a bunch of time left, so anything could happen. The Lions are not out of this game yet, and I don't think they're going to go down without a fight.
Straka now up to 5 strikeouts on the afternoon as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Vanessa, quick Doctor Strange reference there. I've seen it.
Throw it in there.
I've seen it. You've seen it. It's a good movie. No spoilers, but definitely worth seeing Avengers Endgame. If you get that opportunity, I would
no spoilers here.
Highly recommend it.
Even if you don't know the Avengers movie, it's still good, We see the T-shirt gun potentially coming out to play soon.
The T-shirt gun is coming out to play. One of the interns walking by with it to appease this sellout crowd here at Alumni Field. This is the final home series of the regular season for the Michigan Wolverines. Now, there is potential for more home softball later on that would involve being selected as a host site for a regional, or as Jeremy Parks believes, potentially a super regional. But that's quite a while down the line. Michigan, after this home series, will head to Maryland for the final series of the regular season before going to Bloomington for the Big Ten tournament. WCBN will bring you coverage from Bloomington of that, as Madison Union is at the plate, and she'll take ball 1 on a bunt attempt.
Yeah, you forget that these girls and even the guys for the baseball team are here so much longer than the rest of us. I mean, I'm going to be leaving May 2nd. I know you said you're going to be leaving April 30th. These people, though, are here, for all of May almost, even creeping into June sometimes, depending on how long they go. And that is the dedication here that they have to give as athletes, especially as athletes who are playing a spring sport. And that will continue even when school is done.
Uden fouling over the home plate stands. And now taking ball number 2. So 2-1 count for the junior from Glendale. It's again the hero from last night's game, hitting the walk-off home run. Looking to do damage here this afternoon. As Lingenfelter will wind up and just leaves it hanging over the plate. Uden able to get good contact and a great play out in center field by Faye to make the out.
Yeah, just that backward step by Faye, keeping her eye on the ball, but just transitioning back really quickly. It was a good low hit by Uden, but unfortunately Faye was ready for that and just had to take a few steps back, put her glove up, and she caught the ball, creating a first out for the Lions today. Looking a little bit pretty good here with an out successfully being played on their part, because we haven't seen that in the last 2 innings. They usually have struggled to get outs, especially on the first batter.
Now Mackenzie Nemitz up to bat. She'll pop this one up into the outfield, and a miscommunication between the left fielder and the shortstop result in this one hitting the grass and Nemitz reaching first. So what looked like it could be a simple pop-up turns out to be a miscommunication, and it could go down potentially as an error.
Definitely, as I always mention when I call softball games, communication is key. And there was, as you said, Lucas, that miscommunication there, because that pop fly was high up. It was a little bit behind shortstop, and a kind of a good position for a pop fly to be, if any position. But there was that miscommunication, and Polk was not able to grab that.
Hoganrod hits this one hard to the shortstop. Flip to second for the out on Nemitz. Hoganrod reaches first safely. That last play will actually go down as a single, not an error. So Nemitz gets the single, but now she is out on the fielder's choice. Hoganrod at first base now. So 2 outs in the bottom of the 3rd inning, as Kylie Lingenfelter has done a nice job in this inning limiting damage as well. Katie Alexander now up to bat. 0 for 1 on the afternoon. Lingenfelter winding up, and this one is going to skid into the catcher.
Yeah, good positioning by Vallejos to not get that ball a little bit out of her zone, because those balls, when they hit the ground before, she catches it, it can be hard. They can go anywhere. But that was good positioning on hers to control that.
Now Alexander's going to take strike in the top of the strike zone. 1 ball, 1 strike now for the senior catcher from right down the road. So Alexander settles into the batter's box once again. Lingenfelter checking the wristband, winding up, and big rip from Alexander, but it's not the right timing. This one will head foul near the snow cone truck. A couple fans
felt like no one
way.
really knew that was coming. Again, this is why I get so nervous with these foul balls. There's never that heads up, only as much as there is awareness of where the ball is. But as you stated, that snow cone stand is pretty distracting. So
Alexander readies herself and fouls once again, this time the other direction over the press box roof here.
I again don't know how someone has not gotten hit with a ball. So happy no one has gotten hit, hopefully. I would hate to see that, I think, as anyone would here at Alumni Field.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 strikes rather. 2 outs, the bottom of the 3rd inning. Michigan leads this ball game 4-0 against the visiting Penn State Nittany Lions. Alexander will foul once again, but this one goes up and into the glove of Haley Vallejos. The 3rd inning comes to a close, and no runs on the board for either team.
Yeah, both of those innings were really quick for both teams. There was outs generally right away with both the Nittany Lions and the Michigan Wolverines here. But no one, again, even though the Wolverines lead 4-0, the Nittany Lions are not out of this game, especially with how they just shut down the Wolverines. When they were, battling, the girls were good hitters. They didn't always get good contact, but nonetheless, it was still good plays by Penn State to be able to shut them down. Even with that 1 error, Michigan still did not score.
Yeah, Penn State has power in their lineup, and Alex Straka will be going up against Claire Swedberg, Chelsea Beasy, and Destiny Weber. Beasy especially, 13 home runs on the season. So anytime those girls, especially Beasy and Polk, get a chance, Michigan's got to be very cognizant of their abilities to hit the long ball, and that could affect
right now
this
as we
game,
look
but
to center field, kind of like a in-between type game going on. We have Spider-Man and the Flash catching T-shirts from what looks like the T-shirt gun from one of the interns. Don't really know what the point is besides maybe to show off. Can Spider-Man get this, though? He can. And
Yeah.
as I say, Marvel is better than DC, and that is why Spider-Man caught the T-shirt and Flash did not.
It is Superhero Day here at Alumni Field. Great job on the T-shirt gun by Dan Dietrichson. Gotta give a shout out to the interns.
Yeah, I as Lucas, as I mentioned earlier before the broadcast started, I should have wore my Wonder Woman outfit. I do have, to those listening, do have the full Wonder Woman Gal Gadot outfit that I wear to every Wonder Woman premiere because I am a huge
Like
avid Wonder Woman fan.
The one Wonder Woman premiere?
Justice League.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Fair
knew you were going
point,
to say
fair point.
something. Yeah. Any chance I get to, whip out that costume, I'm taking it. So every Halloween you see me as Wonder Woman.
Claire Swedberg now at the bat, second time. She'll take strike one from Stracco. And Stracco will wind up for pitch two. This will be a bunt attempt and very poorly done. It will pop up into the glove of Katie Alexander for an easy out number one.
The poorly done, you were right. It was unfortunate that it was just not good contact for that bunt. It was just an easy pop up for Alexander to catch. Easy first out. I'm wondering if this inning is going to look a little bit like the third with some easy quick outs or seeing where it's going to happen. Just a strike right then and there, though, on Bissy. Sirocco's looking good.
Yeah, Beasy, a big swing and a miss. Looking to show off her power, hasn't had the opportunity to do so today. As Stracco winds up. Another big swing for Beasy. This one will go way foul. So now 0-2 hole for the freshman from Latrobe, Pennsylvania. And Stracco's going to look to put her to rest. Beasy is one of the best hitters in the Penn State lineup. And she makes contact with this one. Flied into left field. Lexi Blair calmly makes the catch, out number two. Not much to that one at all, as now Destiny Weber will be up to bat for the Nittany Lions.
Yeah, Stracco, is doing a good job being able to control those pitches, and the infield is able to, get it done when there is a hit. There hasn't been a super challenging hit so far, but the pop flies nonetheless are being caught. So.
And Stracco will catch the outside of the plate on the opening pitch to Weber for strike number one. And pitch two goes for a sharp foul tip behind Katie Alexander. Came hot off the bat, unable to just get the barrel of the bat on the ball, resulting in it heading foul. So another 0-2 hole, this time for Destiny Weber, junior from Ohio. And Stracco winds up, delivers, and just off balance, off time. Strikeout number 6 for Alex Stracco. She heads back to the Michigan dugout, and the Wolverine bats will retake home plate for the bottom of the fourth inning.
As I hold true to my Doctor Strange comment, I did just say that I felt like it was going to be a quick 1, 2, 3 out inning, like it was in the third inning, and it exactly was that. So I think I should join the cast of Avengers Endgame.
Well, Michigan has not allowed the power of Penn State to affect this game as it was able to last game, although really last night most of that power was shown later on in the game. 2 home runs in the 5th and a home run in the 7th inning for the Nittany Lions. So Michigan has got to continue to attack the Penn State lineup all afternoon. Cannot be satisfied with early success. But the bats for Michigan very active early on, already with 4 runs, and they have great opportunity to continue to attack Due up for the Wolverines is going to be Natalia Rodriguez, Faith Canfield, and Natalie Peters once again.
Yeah, I feel like this is almost deja vu with Rodriguez starting at bat again, as she did. I believe it was the bottom of the second. But here she is again, nonetheless, a fast base runner. Good at battling, as we saw last time with that almost double on her part, but was unfortunately called as not in play, ruled over the previous call. So
the first pitch Rodriguez sees is far and away for ball number 1, not very close to home plate at all. As Rodriguez will retake the box. She'll take a strike now in the bottom half of the strike zone to even the count at 1 apiece. Coach Hutchins gives a little bit of advice. Rodriguez steps in. All she's got to do is get the ball in play. The infield very sucked in, and she gets a bunt down, loses the bat in the process, and able to run out the throw. The catch not made at first base by is going to be Swedberg rotating over to try and make the catch at first base. Unable to do so. Rodriguez so fast makes you have to do everything in a clean manner. No room for error.
I know, I want to say, even without that error happening, it might have been a close call if she was safe or not because of how fast she is.
It would have been close, but that goes down as another error for Nittany Lions now. And Faith Canfield up to bat. Take a low ball. Canfield already homered this afternoon, and now Rodriguez on first base. So a lot of speed on the base paths and a lot of power in the batter's box.
Yeah, Michigan is looking good right now.
And this is a
Wild
high ball. Unable to be caught by Vallejos, and Rodriguez able to easily jog to second base, as you mentioned, wild pitch. It's another stolen base for Rodriguez by the wild pitch. Now Michigan has a runner in scoring position.
Yeah, especially with Rodriguez being as fast as she is, I would be a little nervous if I was the Nittany Lions seeing her at second base, especially with, as you stated, Canfield being such a scary, intimidating batter as she came off of that home run in the first at bat at the game. I mean, Michigan again is just looking good.
So Faith Canfield now 3 balls and 0 strikes once again, second time in a row, and she'll take another walk as it comes. 8 straight balls pitched to Faith Canfield since her home run. And now Michigan has runners at first and second base.
And yeah, Michigan continues to be at a good point in their batting lineup with Peter stepping up to the plate. It looks like Vallejos is giving Regenfelter a little bit of a pep talk up there. Looking, I mean, she's not looking bad, but she did just walk two. Oh no, there was an error. She did just throw a lot of balls, potentially, which is not really good on her part to walk a certain amount of people. But, at the same time, Michigan has not scored yet, but they do have the potential to score with 2 people on first and second base.
Now Natalie Peters up to bat, takes a low ball. It's another one of those players with so much speed that is just looking to get the ball in play and let her speed go to work. We saw her bunt or attempt to bunt. And she slaps this one, and it's able to skid past second base. Natalia Rodriguez will score on the RBI single. And that's what it's all about when you have Rodriguez or Peters on the base pass, just getting that ball in play, and Swedberg unable to collect
like
this one off the
there might be
bounce.
a change in pitcher.
They're just going to have a quick little meeting in the circle once again, but I mean, that's a play that Swedberg has got to make around second base, stopping that one.
Those are always hard, though. The bounce can it can happen at the wrong time. It's again a shorter field than baseball, and the bounces are hard.
And Swedberg, a young batter, and fielder, only a freshman, so unable to make the play, and Now Faith Canfield and Natalie Peters on base, first and second, no outs still, and Lexi Blair up to bat. The score currently stands at 5-0. The run rule is 8 runs after 5 innings. So Michigan
A lot different than last night's game.
Michigan is threatening.
They are threatening, especially now with Lexi Blair up to bat, who has been nothing but successful her freshman year here at the University of Michigan. As I stated earlier, this is her third week being Big Ten Freshman of the Week. So nothing but impressive here from Blair.
Lingenfelter goes in right off the conference at the circle for a strike over the plate. So Lexi Blair is going to be very patient, find a pitch she likes. This is the stat we mentioned earlier, only 4 strikeouts on this season. And she'll take another strike. Actually, this one goes low into strike zone.
Yeah, now Blair is at that 0 balls, 2 strikes, kind of looking dangerous. But as we know, Blair has the ability to battle, as she's shown continuously throughout the season. So,
and able to get this one in play. This one will roll towards second, and the decision to flip it to second base may have been a poor one, as Swedberg unable to make the play again. She is just not having a good inning, not able to make the catch at first base, letting one go by her at second, and now unable to make the catch on the flip. As now Michigan has the bases loaded with no outs, and Alex Subject, plenty of power in that bat too.
Exactly. And as you stated, I mean, although Michigan has gotten some good hits, it has kind of been nothing but errors here on the Nittany Lions' parts that has gotten these 3 people on bases right now. So bases are loaded for Michigan. And as you stated, Subject is up, and she is a good hitter.
That will not go down as an error in the scorebook. Only 2 errors on the afternoon, maybe room for a couple more, but they call a strike on the Subject check swing. And Subject will scoot out of the way of this one, way inside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike now, no outs, bases loaded for the Wolverines. And Alex Subject, who has been on a couple tears this season, bats .365, has 9 home runs on the year, 33 RBIs. She'll take an off-speed pitch in for ball number 2. 2 balls, 1 strike now.
Yeah, Lingenfelter's really trying with the changeup. Seems to be like it's her most successful pitch. As is any changeup, though, for any pitcher, can sometimes just catch those batters by surprise.
And Subject will take a low ball, so now 3 balls and 1 strike.
If Lingenfelter walks right now, I mean, wouldn't be good on her part because a run would score for the Wolverines, making that 6-0.
Yeah, Lingenfelter, a lot different than Hannah Shields as far as the walks go. She does walk Alex Subject, so Canfield will walk it home. 6-0 now for Michigan.
I truly am predicting this game.
But a stat that we talked about early on, Hannah Shields, only 7 walks on the season. Her replacement, Kylie Lingenfelter, now up to 37. And actually, that'll make it 38 now, rather.
Yeah, now the Michigan Wolverines, again, there's 0 outs in the in this top of the 5th inning. Bases are loaded. They just scored, and it's 6-0. Lucas, do you think this is going to potentially be a 5-inning game?
I mean, with no outs, bases
it's hard
loaded,
to say.
Michigan is in a good spot right now. Let's put it that way, as Michigan will pinch run for Alex Subject to get a little bit more speed on the base pass. It's going to be number 2, Grace Schelleman, freshman, very speedy in her own right. So speed all around the base paths for Michigan, looking for Madison Union to get a base hit and see what kind of damage they can do. As Union will take a strike on the outside of the plate from Lingenfelter. Uden 0 for 2 on the afternoon.
Low pitch right there. So kind of surprised it wasn't called as a strike. But nonetheless, 1-1 count. Bases are loaded. Uden has potential to do a lot here.
Uden waiting for the pitch that she wants to attack, trying to bring any one of her teammates home. She'll take another low ball.
Now, Lingenfelter cannot really afford to walk another person right now because that would bring the Wolverines to another run, and I think that would probably cause the Nittany Lions to look for a change in the pitcher.
Lingenfelter, a lot of pressure on her right now. The young freshman who was brought in early for relief, as the count now stands 3-1 for Madison Uden. So you'd think that Lingenfelter needs to put it in the strike zone right now. Uden shouldn't necessarily feel pressured to swing at something she doesn't like. And this will go high for a walk, so Natalie Peters will walk it on home. And now Michigan leads 7-0. Still no outs in the bottom of the fourth inning.
Yeah, this is completely different compared to last night's game where it was close until, as you stated, the seventh inning with that walk-off. And now, I mean, it's 7-0 here. We're at the top of the fifth. There's 0 outs. As we stated earlier, the mercy rule is 8-5. Michigan has potential to do that, but of course, Penn State has potential to come back too with batting. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
And Michigan just trying to get as many runs across as they can right now, but this just adds to their stretch of impressive scoring games. If you go back and look at the schedule, I mean, they've had scores of 6, 16, 16, and 9 in their last 4 games prior to this one. Now it's at least 7 runs in this game. You skip over the 2-1 Illinois win, and there's a 12-1 win in East Lansing. The only loss in extra innings at Ohio State was 1-2, but prior to that as well, scores of 6, 10, and 7. So just an offense that hasn't really shown that it can be stopped on a consistent basis at all. And Penn State's running into that problem again today. You know, you are in a 5-5 game yesterday and give up that walk-off run, and that might have been Penn State's best chance at a win in the series. But you look across the Big Ten, and like I said, Northwestern currently sits in first place. Michigan is still just 1 game behind them with the only loss. Northwestern's at Michigan State this weekend, and they'll head to Minnesota next week for that big final series. Minnesota, a very good team as well in this conference. So,
yeah,
a lot to keep an eye on.
There is a pitching change here. We have Schaefer now up to pitch for Penn State. And I just want to make a correction. It's actually the bottom of the 4th inning, and I was looking at the wrong part of the scoreboard right now. So, again, there is a lot of room here for Penn State to potentially score a run, so there won't be a mercy rule. But it's looking like this game might fall into the Wolverines' favor. But, again, anything could happen. It is college softball.
Mackenzie Nemitz up to bat. A lot of power as Schaefer goes low. 2 balls, no strikes now to Nemitz. Nemitz currently batting .284 on the season. She has 5 home runs and 27 RBI. 1 for 2 on the afternoon so far. And solid contact made by Nemitz. And the tag is made on Schelleman by the shortstop, Livingston. The ball went to her, and rather than turn a throw, she makes the tag. A run does score, though, and now it is 8-0 in favor of Michigan as Lexi Blair coming across home. So no runner at third base, the first out of the inning, but Nemitz at first and Uden at second. With, it looks like, a pinch hitter. It's going to be number 24, Morgan Overitis, pinch hitting for Haley Hoganrod.
It's getting to that time where Hutchins can afford to put in some people who maybe don't always play as much as other people do, because this lead right now that Michigan has is pretty large.
And this pitch will go into the dirt for Madison Schaefer. Madison Schaefer, 3.88 ERA, 2-3 on the year, and 30.2 innings pitched.
Yeah, Penn State's kind of struggling to find a pitcher that will really shut down this Wolverine teams. I mean, as we saw with Shields starting out and then just getting taken out right away. And of course, Ligenfelter put up a good battle, but she had to be taken out as she walked two people towards home when the bases were loaded. And now we have Madison Schaefer here, who potentially could put a challenge for these Wolverines. But again, anything could happen. This lead for the Wolverines is large.
Morgan Overitis now sits in a favorable 2-0 count. She has seen some action this season, mostly as a pinch hitter, has shown that she is capable in that role. 273 average on the year with 1 home run and 7 RBIs. She takes first strike of her at bat. The freshman from Canton, Michigan, figures to play a large role next season. Certainly shown some flashes. And Overitis will take the off-speed pitch for ball number 3. 3-1 count now. Third base is open, so Walk would not score a run in this situation with Madison Unit at second base and Mackenzie Nemitz at first. Overitis in her stance. Big swing at this one, and it's going to skip to the shortstop. Livingston able to field it and get the throw, rather difficult throw, to first base. Beasy makes the catch. Overitis will be out, but Uden and Nemitz each advance. So now Katie Alexander up to bat with runners at second and third base.
Interesting play by Livingston. I guess her momentum was going forward, so that's why she threw it to first. But it looked almost as second base was right in front of her, potential to tag and just get that out. Don't really know what the potential goal was, but nonetheless, an out was made. There's now 2 outs in this inning, but Michigan has scored 4 runs, so it's not like they haven't done damage.
The first pitch to Katie Alexander will hit the dirt before home plate. Alexander looking for an opportunity, 0 for 2 on the afternoon. 10 home runs on the season, though, for Katie Alexander. Plenty of power, as we've mentioned. She's able to make contact. This one play is made by Livingston.
Almost like a deja vu type thing.
And Michigan will take an 8-0 lead into the 5th inning, 3 outs away from finishing this one if they can prevent a run.
Yeah, with that play, Livingston did almost the same exact thing as she had just done previously to get that out. It was almost, again, like I said, a deja vu type. But the Nittany Lions were able to, get that third out and get out of that tough inning for them. And it's now the top of the 5th. Again, the Nittany Lions have to score here if they want to play these games to 7 innings. They have to do it. I mean, this is their chance.
Alex Storako has gone 4 innings, allowed 1 hit, struck out 6, has not walked anybody either, and has lowered her ERA to 2.23 so far in this game.
As the superhero day continues, we see Flash and Spider-Man both bopping around on the field, kind of entertaining the crowd. I'm wondering if I should have dressed up as Wonder Woman and been out with them instead of here with you, Lucas.
Well, it's always nice to have someone to call with.
Exactly.
Have done both solo and duo, and say I'd much rather
solo
prefer
must be a
duo.
lonely time. What happens if you need a break?
Just keep going.
You just keep going. See, here at WCBN Sports, we have no limits. we do not take breaks. We do what we can here to give you as much coverage of Michigan sports as possible, especially with softball and baseball being such a good foundation. We'd like to call as many games as we can and give these listeners who aren't able to be here potential to listen to the game from a new student perspective.
So Michigan needs 3 outs. Alex Storako looks across at, this is going to be number 9 for Penn State, I believe, a pinch hitter. This is going to be Tori DuBois. And due up is going to be DuBois, Kirkland, and Krauthamel. So this is the weaker part of the Penn State lineup as DuBois swings and misses for strike 1. 1 ball now, 1 strike for her, a senior from Mount Vernon, New Hampshire. Straka winds up and fits a strike in there. Now 1-2 count for Dubois.
Yeah, kind of a weak point in the lineup, as you mentioned, for the Lions to be in, especially at this crucial time where they need to score or this game will be over.
Exactly. It's a great opportunity for Straka to finish things up. And
might have been a tip off of the finger. That is unfortunate when that happens. I don't know if they call that a foul ball or out of play. I know when in high school, when that would happen, it would potentially be still in play and you would have to run even if it sometimes hits your finger. But that one looked a little difficult, kind of hard to see if it hit her. Looked like it did because she looked like she was in pain, but
yeah, I think they're going to go with the foul on that one. Two balls and 2 strikes now for Tori Dubois. And Straka winds up and delivers, and a very hard swing that will go foul right behind home plate. It's a good rip of the bat, but unable to get into play. Tori Dubois bats 276, so one of the better hitters probably relative to some of these other Penn State hitters. She is pinch hitting for Haley Vallejos right now. And another foul pop up behind home plate.
yeah, we have Dubois continuing to battle here against Staracco. I mean, she is putting up a fight. She's had 3 foul balls now, and the count is 2-2. So any one missed pitch or any swing and a miss will cause her to be out. Good eye for Dubois as she barely the pitch barely misses that strike zone, just a little bit low. It looked like from this angle, but now it is a full count here on Dubois and Stracco. I don't know. She's looking to strike her out.
And she does just that. Swing and a miss. Swung way too early, and Stracco hits her with the off-speed pitch.
Change up.
Strikeout number 7 for Alex Stracco on the afternoon. And it's out number 1 of the top of the 5th inning.
Yeah, it's not looking good for these Nittany Lions at this point. That is out number 1, as you stated, and it is a strikeout. And again, as I mentioned, they are kind of at the weaker point of their batting lineup, but anything could happen. Looks like it's a foul ball, pop fly in the stands. Did that hit somebody in the head? I sure hope not.
Now it's
No, that lady didn't even flinch.
it's Allie Kirkland up to bat now for Penn State. Kirkland, the 250 batter at the 6th spot in the lineup. Pops one foul over the netting along the third base line. Strike 1. Stracco winds up and does basically the exact same thing again. Strike number 2. So Kirkland now sits in an 0-2 hole. So Stracco at 7 strikeouts already, looking for more.
Yeah, potential, as you stated, a 0-2 count, potential to get another strikeout for Stracco.
And Stracco goes just outside for
looking good for
a ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes, trying to get Kirkland to bite on that one. And so Stracco looks across, winds up, delivers, and a swing and a miss. Down goes Allie Kirkland, out number 2 of the top of the 5th inning. Strikeout number 8 for Alex Stracco.
Good for her. I mean, of course, Bombian is a great asset to this Michigan team, but Stracco has been nothing but successful today as she has given up 0 runs. As you stated, that was her 8th strikeout. I think right now she's looking for number 9. There's 2 outs, and the Nittany Lions are about to fall to a mercy rule against the Michigan Wolverines.
It's Lilia Krauthamel up to bat now. She swings and misses for strike number 1. Just a 176 batter at the moment, so the weak spot of Penn State's lineup.
Which is not what they need right now.
Stracco sees an opportunity here. And another swing and a miss, strike 2. Krauthamel, the freshman, has got to find a way to get on base to keep this game going. As the sellout crowd here at Alumni Field can start to feel things.
It's just crazy how last game compared to this game, how that can just change like in a blink of an eye.
Stracco goes inside for ball 1 now to Krauthamel. 1-2 count now. Alex Storako winding up, delivering. Big foul pop-up into the stands. So the at-bat continues. So Penn State down to their final out, unless they can find a way to score a run this inning.
And it's not looking good for them. As we stated, there's 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. And swing and a miss.
And Storako gets the strikeout.
And that is a mercy rule against the Lions today. Big difference compared to last night's game. Lucas, you called last night's game. I don't know if it was by yourself or not, but what do you think the most differentiating factor of today's game was compared to last night's game?
Well, Michigan did not allow Penn State to hit the ball over the fence this afternoon, and
and that's it.
that's where most of Penn State's offense comes from. As we mentioned, I think one of the stats listed is that Penn State's 21-7 if they're able to score 3 or more runs, and no runs scored today. Not very conducive to success. Michigan came in focused off of momentum from the walk-off and took care of business. So Wolverines will be back tomorrow for their final regular season home game of the season. Once again against Penn State, this time at 1:00 p.m. Should be a nice day, although might not be the nicest weather tonight. But should be back for some softball. I believe it'll be myself, Lucas Vargas, and Alex Strain on the call. And we would like, again, to say thank you for tuning into WCBN coverage of Michigan softball. My name is Lucas Vargas. Vanessa, any closing thoughts?
Yeah, just happy to see this Michigan team really progress as they move more and more closely to the Big Ten tournament and the end of their season. Hutchins has nothing but a great program here. I enjoy calling softball and even watching softball more than any other sport besides hockey, as we know, big hockey girl, but good for this Michigan team. Great for them to mercy the team that they battled with last night. And as you said, Lucas, this team is going nothing but in good directions here. And as always, thanks for tuning in to WCBN Sports. Lucas, I know you really appreciate it. I know I really appreciate it. And of course, Lucas, when you're by yourself, you must really appreciate it even more.
Now, with that said, good night and go blue.